no, you don't have to get up. You can just stay seated. My name is Dr. Jeremiah. How you doing today? Hospitals and doctors make you kind of nervous. Yeah. Yeah, that is, it's very common. And, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you ever watch a doctor show on TV, everything is super high drama, you know, everything is life or death. And don't get me wrong, I like doctor shows too, you know. Well, you know, what were the classics? You know, it was ER and Grey's Anatomy, House. I think House was my favorite. I really like, what's his name? Hugh Laurie. Big fan of that guy. He's a fun actor. You know, he's British. Yeah, he was on this British comedy show back in the day called Blackadder. Highly recommend. Anyway, but, you know, whenever somebody's going in to see a doctor, it's always, they're having a terrible day. And, you know, hospitals, they can be weird, but, you know, if a show was just showing people like you coming in to get their annual checkup, or like today you said you were looking for a new GP, a new general practitioner, and if the shows were just people like you coming in to more or less interview and meet their potential GP, and the visit went really well and they left, I don't think that would make very good television. So, no, I totally understand, but just know that you are in a safe place. Everything's gonna be okay. And you're doing the right thing. You are trying to find, you're doing preventative care, which is huge. You know, the old, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And you're shopping around for the right doctor, which is a very important and can be a frustrating process. I've had to shop, my wife and I have had to shop for doctors, you know, whether you move or you switch insurance, and then you have to go sit down with a doctor, and I've 100% had the experience of not, like, this is not the right doctor for me, you know. Yeah, even doctors have doctors. I have a GP myself, a general practitioner, and it's very important that you like your GP. So even if you end up, for whatever reason, you know, I'm not the right fit for you, which is completely okay, I'm going to highly recommend you check out the sponsor of today's session, which is ZocDoc. So ZocDoc is a free website, and it's in all 50 states, and they have, I think, over 150,000 providers, and they provide a reference, a place where you can read reviews from thousands of patients. You can see some of the doctor's various personalities a little bit, and you can find the doctor or specialist. There's, whether you're looking for a GP, whether you're looking for a dentist, or some 200 other types of specialists, ZocDoc has an amazing database of doctors and providers, so you can find the right doctor in network that's going to work best for you. And that could also be, you know, in-person visits, which are important, but also could be telehealth. It could be over the phone or over your computer, which I am honestly a big fan of. there's definitely times when you may have a question, and it doesn't make sense for you to drive all the way out to visit a hospital or a clinic. I mean, if you want to see your doctor in person, great, you can always do that. And if you would like to have your questions answered via video call, you can do that too. And so when you're ready, you can check on a doctor's availability and book an appointment right there with one click. And usually most appointments happen within 24 to 72 hours. And sometimes you can even get same-day appointments. So be sure to click on the link in the description below for our friends over at ZocDoc. And let's continue. Now, I always like to get to know my patients on a personal level. And may I ask how old you are? I mean, I can read it here, but thank you. And okay, you're looking for a general practitioner. When was the last time that you saw a doctor? Okay. Would you consider yourself somebody that sees a doctor more than a few times a year, more like once a year? Kind of depends, doesn't it? Yeah. But you do like going for your annual. You do get at least a once a year checkup and evaluation, blood tests, all that. Wonderful. Great. And on a scale of 1 to 10, and you can't say 7, what level would you say your daily stress level is? Okay. Well, stress is massively important in our lives, and it's not good. I think a little bit of stress is necessary. Otherwise you'd be kind of like weirdly stoically non-motivated, right? Like stress is something that, it just means that there's something that you want to get done, and there's usually a by when with some kind of a deadline. And that can be any number of things that can add stress. It can be, a fight with our significant other. That can be a massive cause of stress. And how we experience stress is very, very personal. And stress can cause all kinds of... The main thing about stress is it absolutely lowers our immune system. Stress will... It makes your body focus resources on other things rather than taking care of you. So yeah, stress management is very important. We want less, not more. That's for sure. How's your sleep schedule? Okay. Yeah. Well, of course, there's one thing that's really important to know, which is there's not a one-size-fits-all for patients. And just like doctors, I'm not going to be the perfect doctor for everybody. Hopefully I'm a great doctor for many, but I'm not going to be the perfect one. And in the same way, there's no one... Not everybody needs the same amount of sleep. Some people can handle much higher levels of stress than others, and they're okay with it. There's no one-size-fits-all. Same with diet. Vices like alcohol or marijuana. So may I ask, like, how many drinks per week do you think you have? Okay. Well, there's there's no one size fits all. I think it's very important to note that alcohol is fundamentally, at its base level, it is a poison, okay? And there's no amount of alcohol which is purely what you might call safe. And at the same time, some alcohol is, I truly believe that it's fine. If it's not being abused, if you're not getting drunk every night, there's a reason we have livers and kidneys, and they do a very good job as long as they're not overworked. Okay. There's famous places in Europe and, these old Greeks and Italian birds and French people in the Mediterranean, and they're drinking wine every day and even smoking cigarettes and living into their 90s. Like, what is that? It's many things. It's lifestyle, genetics, community, feeling of purpose, belonging. There's a million things that go into a comprehensive health profile. It's not just one thing. So, abusing alcohol is very bad for you. Okay, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Moderate alcohol consumption, I'm not gonna lie and say that it's 100% healthy. It's not, but it's probably, what are the trade-offs? I don't know. Those are the things you have to decide for yourself. Okay, same with marijuana. There's, recently, of course, marijuana has gotten much more popular in the United States. So as its level of abuse, there are people that are smoking up every day. And some may say, well, I'm fine, I'm totally functional. They probably are, I take a little bit of umbrage with the notion that you've heard these people where it's like, this is medicine, man. This is like a plant medicine. Can marijuana be used medicinally? Absolutely, it can be. I've even prescribed it to patients, especially folks that are dealing with tragedies like cancer and so forth. It has a medical use, but I don't want to kid ourselves into the world where, marijuana has no harm and there's no side effects. That is absolutely not true. Marijuana absolutely has side effects. It can lead to higher rates of anxiety, paranoia, overeating, munchies, and can it have benefits too, of feeling of community and relaxation? Yes. Is it all bad? No. Is it all good? No. It's something to be used in moderation, like alcohol, if that's something that you want to do. But again, for some people, no amount of marijuana is safe, especially if there's a history of mental illness, bipolarism, things like that nature, especially edible marijuana, can be very triggering and would not recommend at all. For other people, it's fine. So that's it's something that you'll have to decide for yourself. And it's kind of one of those, it's self-diagnosed. So alcoholism is a self-diagnosed disease. Marijuana abuse would be self-diagnosed. If it's interfering with your life and interfering with things you need or want to do, maybe take a break. Yeah? Anyway. Okay. And how would you describe your diet in general? You try to keep it healthy. Yeah. And how often do you have fast food? Okay. Nice. Again, everything in moderation, even moderation, but well, but again, there is some truth in that. Okay. All right. Well, let me go ahead and give you kind of a basic once-over, and then we'll send you down for blood work, and we'll check your cholesterol, your lipids, your hormones, testosterone, estrogen, vitamin levels, all that kind of fun stuff. But let's go ahead and give you a little quick once-over. All right? And, okay, we got a little pen light here. And if you'll just go ahead and follow this little pen light with your eyes, please. Very nice. Yeah, just with your eyes. And good. Very nice. And, yeah. And good. Very good. And I'm going to look right here. You can look right at my nose. I'm going to check your pupillary response. Just look right at me. Good. And very nice. And same on the other side. Okay. Very nice. And go ahead and cover, that would be your left eye for me. Just cover your left eye like so. All right. Good. And tell me how many, or tell me when my finger wiggles. Okay, so cover your left eye and tell me when my finger wiggles. Now, good. Now, good. And over here. Now, good. And perfection. And do the same. Cover up your right eye for me, just like so. And now, good. Now, good. Now, good. And now, good. Okay. You see this chart behind me here? Yeah, this little guy right there. And can you cover up your right eye? All right, cover your right eye. And can you read right above the green line there? Very good. Can you cover up your left eye? Can you read the line right below the green line? Very nice. Very nice. Now, can you do me a favor? Can you puff out your cheeks for me like so? Perfect. And can you make me a frowny face like this? Good. And can you make me a big smiley face? Good. Can you make me a big, really super surprised face? Nice. All right. Speaking of that, can you go ahead and open your mouth and say ah for me? Stick your tongue out and say ah. Very good. Very good. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to touch your face a tiny bit. Do you mind? Yeah. Well, we call this a cranial nerve exam, and it's just making sure that all the basic synapses are firing where we want them to be firing. And, you know, most people, of course, pass this with flying colors. But, you know, if for some reason something seemed off, it's better to know up front now rather than later. So, to place my hand on the side of your face right here, okay? I want you just to gently tilt your head into my hand for me, okay? So go ahead and just tilt your head into my hand. Perfect. And same on the other side. Just tilt your head into my hand. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I want you just to gently rotate your head into my hand this time. Just give it a little rotation. Perfect. And same on this side. Just a little rotation. Nice. I'm going to place my hands on your shoulders here. So I want you to give my shoulders a little shrug up and down. Okay? Go ahead and give me a little shrug up. Good. And one more. Perfect. And can you put your tongue into the side of your cheek like this? Other side. Okay, good. I'm going to place my hand on your cheek, and I want you to do the same thing. So I'm going to place my hand right there, and just push your tongue into my cheek, into my hand. There we go. Perfect. And same on this side. Perfect. Wonderful. And let me take a little look into your ears, and we'll do a little hearing check. So if you don't mind, can you just turn your head a little bit to your right, please? Perfect. Very nice. And turn your head to your left, please. And very good. Nice. Okie dokie. Ears look good. Nice pearly eardrums. And I'm going to go ahead and give your heart a little bit of a listen to. So, just breathe normally for me, okay? Just breathe normally. Very nice. Very good. And just keep breathing normal. Nice. And can you go ahead and give me a nice deep breath this time? A nice. Good. And give me one more nice deep breath. Very good. Let me do a little hearing check. I'm just gonna whisper something into your ear, and you can just whisper that number right back to me, or tell it to me. You don't have to whisper it if you don't want to. Up to you. Okay. All right. 36. 36. Beautiful. And on the side. 87. 87. Beautiful. Wonderful. Your ears seem to be in wonderful working condition. And let's just a little bit of a tuning fork test. And just let me know when you can no longer hear the vibration sound. Okay? Tell me when you can no longer hear it. Now, beautiful. And now, beautiful. Wonderful. And just a little sensitivity test. So we have a woody side. This will be the sharp side. And the cotton side will be the soft side. And I'm just going to tap your face in a few different places, and you'll just let me know if it feels soft or sharp. Okay? Okay, and sharp. Nice. And soft. And sharp. Nice. And sharp. Nice. And soft. Soft. Perfect. And the whisper test. The whisper thin test. I just like to do the super sensitive, super duper sensy test. Okay, so even less, let me go like it's stuck. There we go. Gossamer thin, just that tiny whisper of cotton. So let me know if you can feel that. Just say yes. Yes, good. And yes, good. And yes, good. And good. And perfection. Okay. Well, you seem to be a healthy, functioning adult. You know, the blood test will, of course, tell us a little bit more and look a little deeper. And once those labs come back, I'll be happy to go over them with you on the phone, if you like, or via Zoom or Skype or kind of whatever you prefer. Okay? Okay, well, it has been really good getting to meet you. Hopefully I will see you again for whatever needs you may have. And if you need to keep searching, check out our sponsor, ZocDoc, in the video description below. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll call you in a few days. Okay.